She's a phenomenal player.
And when you've got someone who moves markets, you have to pay attention to that person.
The women have the headlines, they have the fans, they have the viewers. When the hell are they going to get paid?
College basketball has never seen a bigger star than Caitlyn Clark.
And you know, it's true, there has been no one like Caitlyn Clark.
They said it would never happen, that no woman in the WNBA would ever crack the $1 million mark. Not through league salary, not through influence, not even through raw talent. For years, the numbers told the story.
She's the reason the WNBA just won the lottery. Without Caitlyn Clark, nobody cares about any of these players or the league.
Low viewership, limited sponsorships, capped contracts. The system was built to keep it that way. And then Caitlyn Clark walked in. Overnight, arenas sold out.
This was by far the best year the WNBA has ever had.
Who, by the way, I'm going to go there, who happens to be white and brought a level of attention and allure to the sport it had not received before.
Jerseys flew off the shelves. Networks started fighting for broadcasting rights.
Set an all-time record for total television viewers at 54 million. They set an all-time record for the number of telecasts that reached at least 1 million viewers. They had their highest total attendance in more than 2 decades, up roughly 50% from last year. This was the kind of season that WNBA executives never imagined was even possible.
But while the league clapped politely and critics tried to downplay it as hype, something massive was brewing behind the scenes. A financial shift so powerful, it just rewrote the rules of professional women's sports. And now it's official. Caitlyn Clark has become the first player in WNBA history to secure a salary package that crosses the $1 million threshold.
Caitlyn Clark might be the first one to get up to $1 million.
Not promised, not projected, paid. It's a deal that's got veterans whispering, sponsors chasing, and the internet losing its mind. Because this isn't just a number.
She fills seats. She brings the cameras. She brings national publicity. We can lament it all we want to, but the fact of the matter is, Caitlyn Clark is box office.
It's a wake-up call. The league will never be the same again. So how did we get here? How did a rookie become the highest-paid figure in WNBA history? Not in 10 years, but in her debut season? The answer isn't just in the money. It's in the movement she started. Type CC100 if you're a real Caitlyn Clark fan.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlyn Clark effect.
She's a wonderful player. She brought a lot of eyeballs.
I think one of the things I love about Caitlyn the most, do the thing that she knows everyone wants her.
Let's get one thing straight. No one in WNBA history has ever touched a $1 million salary. Not Sue Bird, not Diana Taurasi, not even MVPs like A'ja Wilson.
To speak to her, to be around her, she's got charisma, she's got style, she's got bravado, she's got class, she's smart as hell, communicates her thoughts very, very well. She is so incredibly marketable. I just think that she's elevating the profile of women's sports in a way that most women should deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate.
The league has operated under tight financial constraints for years, with rookie contracts capped at around $76,000 and top veterans barely clearing $250,000. For decades, WNBA players had to go overseas just to make a living.
These WNBA players playing overseas or playing in off-season leagues during their off-season because you're not making wages that are sustainable enough in the WNBA.
The entire Fever payroll is $1.2 million. That is less than the minimum salary for a single NBA player with a year's experience.
But Caitlyn Clark didn't just bend the rules, she shattered them. So how did she hit the $1 million mark?
Fanatics sold more Clark jerseys in 1 hour after she was drafted than any other sport or player ever.
It's not just a standard WNBA paycheck. Clark's financial package is a layered storm of influence. She inked a $28 million endorsement deal with Nike.
But in addition to the jersey sales, Clark now has an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that will include her own signature shoe. The deal is the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. She deserves it. She deserves it.
The largest ever for a women's basketball player, complete with her own signature shoe in the works. Add that to major brand partnerships with State Farm, Gatorade, and Panini, and suddenly her annual income skyrockets. According to sports finance analysts, These deals, combined with performance incentives and special promotional salary bumps, have pushed her total WNBA-related earnings well past the $1 million mark, making her the first in league history to do so.
According to On3, her NIL valuation, meaning all of the money she made from her endorsements in college, currently sitting at $3.4 million. Nothing to sneeze at there. She was one of the highest paid college basketball players in that respect. But now she'll actually be getting paid to play the game in the WNBA, unlike collegiate basketball. She can also earn more money in the WNBA offseason through league sponsorships, up to $250,000 on a player marketing agreement through the league itself. There's also a $500,000 bonus split between the two Commissioners' Cup teams, as well as a $500,000 playoff pool.
But this isn't just about endorsements. What makes this moment historic is that Clark's income is now being viewed as WNBA salary, not side hustle money. These brands aren't just paying Caitlyn Clark, the athlete. They're paying Caitlyn Clark, the face of the WNBA.
Every fourth commercial would have had Caitlyn Clark. This is Caitlyn Clark walking down the street wearing a pair of Nikes, wearing a Nike shirt that says Caitlyn Clark. Anything. Her face would be everywhere with a swoosh on it.
Her entire presence in the league, from her explosive college fan base to the TV ratings she pulls, has made her too valuable to ignore. She's not just a player, she's the product. And brands, networks, and even the WNBA itself have finally put real money on that value.
And guess what? It's going to change for the better because Caitlyn Clark's going to help it change for the better. All of a sudden, we're going to see Asia Wilson. She may get some more shine because she's that girl.
This financial leap didn't come out of nowhere. When she was drafted as the #1, first overall pick by the Indiana Fever, some downplayed it as business as usual. But Clark's arrival immediately caused ripple effects the league had never seen before.
I think they obviously are taking winning and capitalizing off of this Caitlyn Clark moment they have going.
The WNBA saw a boom like we have never seen. We saw Caitlyn Clark come into the league. We saw the Caitlyn Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans who flooded to the WNBA, and many of those were there for Caitlyn Clark.
Her debut games were sellouts. The Fever's away games, also sellouts. Social media engagement skyrocketed. Broadcasters started moving WNBA games into primetime slots. And behind all that buzz was one undeniable truth. This rookie was generating revenue on a level the league wasn't built to handle.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlyn Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
The $1 million payday, it's not a bonus. It's compensation for transforming an entire league's economy overnight. Caitlyn Clark didn't just arrive in the WNBA. She detonated into it. Before she ever stepped onto a professional court, her name was already driving the headlines.
The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
But what's happening now is far beyond hype. It's structural change. Clark has forced the WNBA to confront a reality it's long avoided. When fans show up, when eyes are watching, when players move the culture, the money has to follow. And no one is moving the culture like Caitlyn Clark.
The ratings were phenomenal because of Caitlyn Clark. But we all realize that Caitlyn Clark single-handedly is responsible for the WNBA mattering.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in.
Everywhere she goes, the numbers follow. Indiana Fever games, both home and away, are consistently selling out, something unheard of for the franchise in recent history.
While Caitlyn is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA,
who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlyn Clark.
Networks like ESPN and ABC are bumping women's games into primetime slots, all because Clark's matchups outperform expectations. Social media engagement has exploded. Her clips trend within minutes, her plays get covered by mainstream outlets, and fans, many of them first-timers to the WNBA, are tuning in because she's on the court. It's no longer just about basketball. It's about entertainment, marketability, and a rising star who can generate millions with every move she makes.
Caitlyn Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlyn Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
But not everyone's celebrating. There's been noticeable tension among veteran WNBA players. Names like Aja Wilson and Angel Reese, while exceptional in their own right, have voiced frustration over the level of attention Clark is receiving. Some have accused the media of bias. Others have questioned whether she's earned the spotlight.
There is nobody interesting in the WNBA past or present except for Caitlyn Clark. They've all shown themselves to be sexist, racist, petty, ridiculous.
She's really looking out for everybody else. And it's so sad that there are so many people that continue to turn a blind eye to that. Knowing how selfless she is, and they still want to say, Caitlyn Clark, she's not the reason. Let's give other players their flowers. No, Caitlyn Clark is the reason.
And yet the irony is impossible to ignore. Clark's presence is precisely why salaries are starting to rise, why marketing budgets are growing, and why veterans, the same ones who are skeptical, are now playing in sold-out arenas instead of half-empty gyms.
If I was the WNBA, I would have considered a separate television package to a network on just Caitlyn Clark games. I would have had two packages, the WNBA package, and then a separate, let's say 15 to 18 game Caitlyn Clark package.
Like it or not, Clark is the rising tide that's lifting everyone. Even off the court, her influence is reshaping expectations. Brands that once stayed away from the WNBA are now pouring in money, launching campaigns around Clark, and investing in content centered on the league. For the first time, players are becoming household names, and it all traces back to the Clark effect. She's the link between sports and pop culture, between the college audience and the professional world. Sponsors see it, networks see it, fans see it, and the WNBA, ready or not, is being pulled into a new era, one where individual star power drives league growth.
She could potentially be one of the best point guards to ever play in the WNBA.
And I want to personally thank Caitlyn Clark for lifting up our sport.
Caitlyn Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years.
This kind of transformation doesn't happen by accident. It happens when someone becomes too big to fit the mold. And that's exactly what Caitlyn Clark has done. She's too big for the old WNBA model, too influential to be boxed into rookie expectations, and too valuable to be underpaid. So now the league is adapting to her, not the other way around. That $1 million salary is just the beginning. It's the signal flare that the old rules no longer apply. The Caitlyn Clark effect isn't just a short-term spike, it's a long-term revolution.
Caitlyn Clark is becoming the best player in the entire WNBA, not because she's white, because she's that good.
I think Caitlyn Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now and makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlyn Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlyn Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never!
What we're witnessing is the beginning of a new financial blueprint for the WNBA and possibly all of women's professional sports. For decades, the conversation around pay disparities was met with excuses. Low viewership, lack of funding, not enough demand. But Clark has crushed those arguments in record time. Her presence has forced advertisers, executives, and fans alike to confront a new truth. When you market women properly, they deliver. And not just in feel-good headlines, in cold, hard revenue.
The best player in America, the best shooter in America. Watch her play. She plays at a high level.
She's going to break records nonstop for the next couple years.
She's the only one capable of taking nothing and making it something.
Consider this. The Indiana Fever, a team that struggled for attention for years, is now a must-watch squad. Their ticket sales are booming. Their social media growth is exploding. And merch sales through the roof. Clark jerseys are outselling nearly every other WNBA players, and even some NBA stars. This isn't just hype, it's economic validation. Her face sells, her game entertains, her name holds weight, and the numbers back it all up.
She is like the face of basketball right now, at least like for the younger generation, because like who is the face of basketball if you're not talking about LeBron James or Steph Curry in the NBA? And you know what? He probably can.
She's proven that a WNBA team can become a profit center, not a financial liability, when it invests in the right talent and markets it properly. But perhaps the biggest shockwave is how fast the league itself is being forced to evolve. Not long ago, the WNBA's business model was painfully outdated. Low player salaries, minimal marketing investment, and a schedule designed to avoid competing with men's sports. It wasn't a league designed for growth. It was designed for survival. But Clark's arrival has made that model look embarrassingly small. Now teams are rethinking their budgets, owners are exploring revenue-sharing models, and there's growing pressure to raise the salary cap. Because how can you justify paying someone like Caitlyn Clark $76,000 through a rookie deal when she's generating millions in return?
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game. She won Rookie of the Month 4 times. Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times, single season rookie record for assists, single season rookie record for 3-pointers, single game record for assists, 9.
Her influence has even reached Capitol Hill. Lawmakers are beginning to question the structure of pay in professional women's sports. Journalists are calling out the glaring inequities. Sports analysts are comparing her impact to LeBron James or Serena Williams, not just in talent, but in economic force. And as uncomfortable as that comparison may be for some, the numbers don't lie. Clark isn't just a standout rookie. She's the financial engine of the WNBA right now. And she's doing it while under a microscope, facing off against veterans, critics, and a system that wasn't built for someone like her to succeed this quickly. And she's not slowing down. In fact, she's just getting started. Clark is becoming the blueprint for what future players will aspire to. Not just on the court, but at the negotiating table. She's made it clear, if you're bringing value, you deserve compensation that reflects it. No more scraps, no more waiting years for a bump. She's changed the expectations not only for herself, but for every young girl watching who now sees a future in pro basketball that doesn't require going overseas or settling for less.
Franchise record for most double-doubles, 3-pointers, career 10 or more assists in a game. Franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 3-pointers. She did it in 34 games. Most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game, for which she received the most fan votes ever, 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season, regardless of years in the league. People will say, pay more attention to the other folks. Like, she couldn't do it herself. You know, LeBron has teammates, Jordan had teammates. I understand.
Caitlyn Clark has already made her mark as one of the most exciting players in the WNBA, but her journey to superstardom is just beginning. After a stunning rookie season, Clark's achievements have elevated her to an unprecedented level of fame and influence. Her new coach, Stephanie White, has compared her stardom to that of a global sensation.
Her rise is also redefining the media narrative. Sports coverage that once brushed past WNBA highlights now gives full segments to Clark's performance. Debate shows that barely acknowledge the league are now dissecting her every move. She's not just dominating the league, she's forcing media institutions to reframe how they treat women's sports altogether. And for once, they're not doing it out of obligation. They're doing it because Clark brings ratings. Let's not pretend this is just about $1 million. This is about what that million represents. It's a line in the sand, a before and after moment. Before Clark, women's basketball was undervalued, overlooked, and underpaid. After Clark, those excuses no longer hold. She's built a bridge between college fame and pro profitability, and she walked across it carrying the whole league with her. Players who come after her won't be starting from scratch. They'll be standing on her foundation. And that's the real legacy. Not just the money, but the movement. Caitlyn Clark didn't just become the first WNBA player to break the $1 million barrier. She became the reason that barrier is never coming back.